The Battle of the Indus in 305 BCE was a significant military encounter between the Seleucid Empire and the Mauryan Empire. Here's a narrative of this historic battle.
Riders, move out!
The Seleucid Empire, seeking to expand its influence into the eastern territories of the former Macedonian Empire, encountered formidable resistance from Chandragupta Maurya, who had already established a strong foothold in the region. As Seleucus I Nicator marshaled his forces for a decisive campaign, Chandragupta Maurya prepared to defend his realm against the foreign invaders. The Imperator Chandragupta Maurya had marched with his troops through the Zranka desert to reach the last zone of the fights, led by Seleucid troops. The Mauryan army, well-disciplined and battle-hardened, moved with purpose and determination, their ranks brimming with confidence under their ruler's leadership. Ahead lay the decisive confrontation, where the fate of the region would be decided. The battleground along the Indus River offered strategic advantages and challenges for both sides. However, the warriors of both sides were hit by an unexpected sandstorm that greatly reduced their field vision. Seleucus I Nicator had consolidated the army. His army was more numerous, but also composed of less trained warriors and warriors coming from other lands. His 6,000-man army was composed of the rich Nivian cavalry and Seleucid citizens on the flanks of the famous Iphicratian peltasts, Thorus swordsmen, trained archers, veteran soldiers, and hoplites.
Soldiers, let's watch on those bastards.
Imperator Chandragupta arrived with a formidable army of 4,000 highly trained soldiers. These troops were equipped with the finest weaponry of the time, and they were skilled in various forms of combat, from hand-to-hand combat to coordinated maneuvers on the battlefield. The army was composed of Indian fighting elephants, heavy horsemen, Mauryan longbowmen, Mauryan royal infantry, lancers, and the loyal warriors of the Kshatriya caste. The Mauryan troops started to advance first. The emperor did not know how many Seleucid warriors were waiting for him and opted for a rather defensive strategy. The elephants and the horsemen on the flanks, the archers in the first line, the lancers in the second, and the infantry behind. This defensive formation provided flexibility, with each unit poised to react dynamically to changing battlefield conditions and enemy movements. As the Mauryan army continued its march, the vigilant Seleucid warriors caught sight of the advancing enemy and swiftly moved forward. Their objective was clear: prevent the Mauryan general from establishing a solid formation and attempt to catch the Mauryan armies from behind, disrupting their organization and coordination. The Seleucid cavalry, positioned on both flanks, surged forward to take the lead as they responded to the Mauryan army's advance. Their swift and aggressive movement aimed to capitalize on the element of surprise and press the attack against the Mauryan forces. Emperor Chandragupta observed the enemy's movement and promptly responded by halting his troops. He then commanded the elephant riders to launch an attack against the enemy cavalry. The chaotic scene on the battlefield unfolded as the Seleucid cavalry struggled to control their frightened horses amidst the towering presence of the Mauryan war elephants. The elephants, massive and imposing, disrupted the cohesion of the Seleucid cavalry, causing confusion and panic among their ranks. The emperor, realizing that the enemy troops were more numerous, chose to close the ranks and defend instead of attacking. Confident in their first charge, the Mauryan war elephants were directed straight at the Seleucid infantry and archers to inflict heavy losses and disrupt the enemy's formation. However, the outcome did not unfold as anticipated. The encircled elephants were decimated by Seleucid spears and attempted to retreat despite the out-of-control pachyderms. At this time, shields met in the front line, clashing loudly. Seleucid arrows and spears caused heavy casualties on the Mauryan side. During the early stages of the battle, one out of two Seleucid cavalry units sent to the flank managed to catch the Mauryans from behind. The emperor attempted to counterattack, but the swift riders reached the archers, who, nonetheless, repelled the offensive. After the tumultuous retreat, the surviving elephants at the front line gradually regained their composure. Their initial charge had caused chaos and inflicted casualties among the Mauryan soldiers, but as they retreated, the elephants settled back into a calmer state. As the Mauryan troops on the front line were being dominated, Emperor Seleucus I Nicator decided to make his move by launching a flanking attack. The last troops in the rear, instead of reinforcing the first line, also tried attacking from the flank to regain the advantage. The Mauryan cavalry, despite their exhaustion, pressed forward with determination, their previous success against the Seleucid archers spurring them on. Charging alongside the infantry, they aimed to exploit the opening created by their earlier victories and strike at the heart of the Seleucid forces. Seleucus I Nicator, observing the emperor exposed and attempting to maneuver his troops into a vulnerable position, charged on elephants with some lancers. But Emperor Chandragupta Maurya countered the charge and inflicted heavy losses on the general. The Seleucid warriors, engaged in a desperate battle and facing a coordinated Mauryan assault, started to retreat in disarray. Amidst the chaos, they became separated and lost sight of their general. Seizing the opportunity, the Mauryan forces launched a final offensive that swept away the last remnants of the Seleucid troops, securing a decisive victory on the battlefield. As the dust settled and the sounds of battle faded, the field belonged to the Mauryan Empire. The resounding triumph on the battlefield solidified Emperor Chandragupta Maurya's legacy as a formidable military leader and expanded the boundaries of his empire, marking a significant chapter in the history of ancient warfare and conquest. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for future videos.